as I've mentioned before, there's no more test servers, so for these videos we now have to watch TonGG playing, you know, the new Pokemon a bit earlier on the Japanese test server, I guess. I think they just get some access to it, which is quite nice at least. At least some people have access to it. And we're gonna talk a bit about Vaporeon before it comes out on Thursday. Already over there, we just had Demise and Vaporeon's already there. So, it's a defender again, right? Early game, of course, it has Swift. Gonna see how the last hitting maybe is. That seems kinda okay, but also very slow. It doesn't really have any bit of burst damage there. So it could be a bit awkward. And then it also has a dash, I think. Yeah, that Swift looks kinda weird, not gonna lie. That Swift looks kinda weird. Not sure if I'm a fan of it. Umbreon has pretty good last hitting with its Cry. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Also, early game ranged. Also quite interesting. I mean, I think it's ranged in general, right? It has ranged basic attacks in general. So, yeah. Basic moves don't matter too much. Of course, we care about level 4. He's also playing XP share, which makes sense. I mean, in the end, it's probably going to be an XP share. Of course, I'm also going to try non-XP share at the start, and at some point, if I realize it has to run XP share, I will be also sadly running XP share. So, again, it's also only one moveset in this video, but we're going to talk about both. But yeah, the early game seems very bad. I mean, I don't know what Ton is doing, but that seems quite bad. Unless, does he have both in this video, maybe? Because he's kind of speeding through it right now? I don't think so. Yeah, that seemed kind of bad. So the passive as well, it's like similar to Umbreon and stuff, but instead it heals. It blocks damage from an ability, and then it heals. So first we have Hydro Pump right now. I'm going to put it on screen, so you can read it with me together as well. Make sure I find Hydro Pump right here. So we have Hydro Pump. This is Hydro Pump right here. Yep. Has the user continuously launch a huge volume of pressure-advised water in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits, and pushing them. The effect ends by unleashing a powerful blast of water, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits, and shoving them. Sounds very strong. From what I mean, looks pretty strong, sounds pretty strong. We'll see how it is. Level 6 now, we have Aqua Ring, where we have a dash, and then we start healing. I don't have to read much about it. This is pretty much just here. So you can see we continuously, it's kind of a bit of like a hyper voice that has like a stun at the end. So you can see right here, and then we push. It looks pretty strong on paper. Good, maybe good damage. I mean, the damage is okay. And then a stun at the end. But the Aqua Ring might be the big thing right here. You can see it's pretty much Moonlight to Fable or a defender Pokemon that also has a dash at the same time. You can see Spin's getting healed. But of course, again, he's playing XP share bit, so we can't expect the highest damage from it. Right? So again, Aqua Ring. Has the user jump designated direction, creates a continuous waves in the center. Allied Pokemon who come in contact with the wave are enveloped by the veil and water and restore HP. Pretty straightforward. Now, before we go into the Unite move on 8, let me just read this out fully right here. Let's just do that very fast, so we are on the same page. Has the user jump up high, the Unite move will look very strong. Dive underwater, create a current that pulls in nearby opposing Pokemon. Afterwards, the user leaps out of the water, dealing damage to opposing and shoving them when it lands. So 2 CCs, pretty much. 2 stuns. First it gets them in, and then afterwards it also gets them out. Like push them away. So, very strong team fight in Unite move, of course. But yeah, so I mean, Umbreon and Vaporeon, the same team, will get a lot of healing. So the 5 EVs are pretty good together. You know, I have a lot of frontline, a lot of healing. I was always missing, the EV team was missing a second frontliner, right? But now you have both. Now you have it. And both can heal a lot as well. Umbreon can heal. Vaporeon can heal. And he's playing against semi-bots, but also real players. That Urshifu does look like a real player. But so far it doesn't seem too toxic, right? Like, it seems pretty okay. Nothing about this screams necessarily it's going to be overpowered yet. Also, wait. Let me look at the Unite move again. He also got some Unite move charge back there. So uses it, pulls them in, and then pulls up. He got 26% back on this Unite. Also interesting. So far nothing streams like it's gonna be super broken. Maybe they've learned after the Mega Evolutions, haha. So. But all the defender and supporter mains are gonna be happy. They're pretty much... Supporter mains can also be happy. It's just another Wish Umbreon as well. You can definitely play a healing build on this. But yeah, Hydro Pump, I'm not sure. Let me check again what the other move does. So, let's pause for a second again and bring up the other move. So you guys can see what it does on level 4, right? It was Muddy Water right here. Muddy Water. Has the user splash Muddy Water on itself, dealing damage, applying a slowing effect, and shoving opposing Pokemon. I feel like when I saw the first gameplay of Vaporeon, I think I found it better looking. It was just a huge wave that just goes out and shoves people away. I think it depends. Hydro Pump is better against ranged Pokemon. And I assume this is better against... Or Muddy Water is better against more melees. Here's another Unite move. It just gets so much charge back on it. It does seem a bit squishy though, right? It does look a bit squishy. Like its HP in general doesn't look very high. Hydro Pump has a reasonable cooldown. I mean, so far it looks very fair. It looks very fair. But then again, the enemies also have low sustain. Like, you know, Defender are pretty difficult to play against low sustain. If this was Umbreon, which was very OP, if the Surging Strikes Urshifu's on it, it also will not look that strong, right? That Urshifu with an like Creamish is very difficult to deal with. Now you get Urshifu right here. Okay. Points in, there's that you can see the stun there and then the knock up. But I mean, the Unite move seems very insane for team fights. Definitely. Seems very strong in team fights. And then also instead of the healing, which, I mean, I feel like you're just going to play the healing, unless Flip Turn is very OP. This is the last move right here. On level 6, Flip Turn has the user cloak itself in water, reducing damage received and increasing move speed. The user then charges in designated direction, dealing damage and shoving opposing Pokemon before jumping back in the opposite direction. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be that useful, healing, right? I can't tell. It's just... Yeah, compared to the healing, I mean, it just depends. Again, it's kind of similar to Wish and Snarl, I guess. Definitely. We'll see how it turns out. It's so hard to judge this Pokemon without playing it myself, I feel like. Very hard to judge. But now we know kind of what it does. I can also look for the upgrades very fast. So we can read through the move upgrades one time if you guys want to. I'm not going to show them on screen because it's kind of micromanaging, a bit annoying. I'm just going to want to go through this. Again, I cannot sadly be on the test server myself. It just doesn't exist anymore, the test server. Muddy Water Plus strengthens the slowing effect. Hydro Pump Plus upgrades, reduces the move cooldown. So Hydro Pump Plus on level 10, which we have now, lowers the cooldown of Hydro Pump. Flip Turn Plus reduces the damage the user receives. Or increases the damage the user receives. Or, I mean, increases the amount of damage. Reduces the amount of damage by more. Increases the... Wait, I actually have one thing right now. Electro Ring Plus heals more. Increases the reduced damage that Vaporeon takes. I think that's how it's supposed to sound. Final team fight right here. How much is the healing now? So we had 60% HP. And then we do... I want to see an Aqua Ring right now, see how much it heals. There's the shield as well. It looks very squishy, right? I mean, okay, it's a good Unite. But it also doesn't have any stacking items right now. Like, I wonder how much it heals with special specs and stuff. Could be very fun. Of course, right? There's definitely another triple 100,000 damage Pokemon. Or triple 100,000 Pokemon. Only promise? I don't see the damage so far, though. I mean, I think it does good damage. It's just that Urshifu loves sustain, which makes it a bit difficult to see. Urshifu does get Groudon. Yeah, I think it's a bit difficult to see how much damage it does in this match because of the Urshifu being very strong. It does look interesting. Yeah, the damage is not crazy. But against the defender, right, it shouldn't be doing crazy damage. But so... Yeah, okay, there's the... Okay, this is the perfect showcase as well, how on the first knock-up, or knock-in, right here. Up, you do this knock-in, and then after a while you do another knockback. And that combined with the eject button as well. It doesn't have eject button right now. I wonder if it works with the eject button. Could be a massive engage, just like Blastoise, for example, right? It could be an absolute massive engage. You just start Unite, and then you eject button in onto 3-4, and then they get double stunned. So it does have a lot of potential. Let me see how much damage he did in this game, because I really can't judge how much damage he has done. I have no idea. Oh, I mean, yeah. That's 75k still, 100k damage taken, 100k healed. Seems about right. but he couldn't really beat the Urshifu with like Creamy. That Urshifu played unkillable, so yeah. Hope you guys are excited for Vaporeon. I am still. Even though of course it's Defender, but I feel like it's gonna have some fun damage bit as well. I assume so. I'm gonna find out. So yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye!